Okay, so now we're going to talk about the gun regulation and specifically Harry Reid. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you can't have a position on regulating guns unless you first have to tell everybody how much you love guns. Yep. You have to first, because we're only allowing people who love guns to regulate guns, which is about as crazy as allowing gun lovers to regulate guns. Okay, it's like, you know, hey, I love bacon, but if I was able to regulate bacon, nothing would really happen. I would just now be pissed off for 15 minutes before I got a heart attack. I didn't do that joke right.
Well, that was still funny though.
It was still funny. We'll leave it in then.
That's a good comedian who fails the joke and still gets a laugh.
There you go. I go 40 in my bones. All right. So I'm watching Harry Reid. So Harry Reid he's sitting down with George Snuffleupagus, and he has to talk about how he loves guns too, and he gives all these examples from his life, and one of them's pretty funny. Let's watch.
But let me just give you a little background here. I had guns from the time I was a little boy. I don't hunt anymore, but I did. I've got lots of guns. I keep them for sentimental reasons. But I'm a police officer. Right over here is my badge. I was a police officer. I carried a gun. That's what I did. Put myself through law school. My dad killed himself, shot himself with a gun, committed suicide. So I know a lot about guns.
I hate that I laughed at that.
Sentimental reasons. Is there anything more romantic than the bloody muzzle of your dad's gun?
Oh my God. I mean, hilarious. That came out of nowhere. It was like a true gun. It was a verbal gunshot that he gave us.
Yes. How is that?
Why can't you say that you don't really care for guns? Isn't that such a?
You can't.
You can't say
Even
that.
though his father killed himself with a gun, he still loves the guns.
I still love the guns.
I was waiting for him. I thought it was going to be one of those like Spinal Tap moments where Harry Reid takes him on a tour of his guns, you know?
Right.
And it's like, if you listen really closely, you can still hear the bang from when my father blew his head off. And this gun goes to 11.
That is intense.
And let me say, you know, Harry Reid is a Mormon, so he's against caffeine, but he's for guns. Right? You know, and maybe if your dad had a little scotch and some coffee from time to time, maybe he wouldn't blew his fucking head off. You ever think of that?
Just for the record, I'm going to go ahead and say my father's still alive and I love my father, but whatever ends up killing him, I'm not going to be a fan of.
Well, you know, yeah, my father died of a heart attack, and I'm going to try to have a stroke just for sentimental reasons.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's nice.